Well, good day, everyone. Hello and welcome. I'm Tonya, and this is a level 2 yoga class. We are here with Comeback Yoga. Comeback Yoga is a nonprofit organization. We are in Denver, Colorado, serving veterans across the Front Range of Colorado and, of course, around the world on this YouTube platform. I'm so grateful on behalf of Comeback Yoga to have you here. We're here for about 45 minutes for this level 2 session. And in this class, we're going to expect a bit of a challenge today. It'll be upper body and lower body as well. So all poses held for a little bit longer. We might move through some things a little bit more vigorously, but expect that this class will provide you with the challenge to kind of clear some cobwebs, but to also give you some nice long stretches at the end of the session. So, again, I just want to thank you for being here today. Um, so, get yourself a yoga mat. And if you like to use anything else in your practice, you want to go ahead and grab those items. Could be yoga blocks, it could be a blanket or cushion, but not necessary for today's practice. But sometimes it's nice to have those things along with you. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start sitting today. So maybe you'd like to sit on a cushion, maybe you'd like to sit with your legs extended forward, just whatever feels the best for you. All right, so let's just go ahead and get quiet here, just noticing our breath, maybe finding placement of the hands onto our body for that breath awareness. And as you breathe in, just feeling things moving here, moving up or out, maybe sideways, and then letting that go. Taking several more breaths here. Just feeling things moving in, receiving the breath, taking it in, welcoming it in with ease and effortlessness, and then letting it out. Notice if it's easier to breathe in or out. Think about all of your facial muscles, just becoming aware of them. Sometimes we hold tension in our jaw that can prohibit any in breath. And then noticing maybe tension in the shoulders, the hips, the legs. We'll take a few more breaths here. One more. All right. And let's go ahead and open our eyes if they were closed. We're going to start some movement now. So, coming into a tabletop position, bringing your hands under your shoulders and those knees under the hips. And just kind of feel some movement coming through your spine. You can do some side to side movements, the hips, maybe looking over your shoulder, looking to the wall behind you, looking to your feet. And then come to a neutral position. We'll do something called pointer. So one arm goes forward, the other leg goes back, and then bring that hand and knee down to the ground. We'll switch, reaching out and coming down, rounding your spine as you come down. So we're going to look forward, the spine kind of arches, bring it down, and your spine rounds like a cat. We'll bring it forward and then bring it down and round. Bring it forward, and down and round, out and in, out and in. 3, 2 on each side. One more each side. All right, wonderful. Okay, bring your hands back to your knees. We'll come into a standing forward fold at the back edge of our mat, separating the feet about hip distance apart. Press your hands onto your legs. Extend out nice and long. And then come back to your legs. We'll walk our hands back to that tabletop position, bringing the knees down. And let's round. This time we're going to bring the arm forward and back, and then bring the elbow and knee to touch. And bring it up. We'll do the same arm and leg, and bring it elbow and knee to touch. If that is not possible to have the elbow and knee to touch, just visualize them touching, right? They may not touch for various reasons. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. And then bringing that down. Let's switch sides and bring it forward, bring it in and touch. Forward and in. Forward and in. Three more. And last one. All right, walk your hands back to your knees, standing forward fold at the back of the mat. Let's extend our spine nice and long, stretching it forward, pressing your hands onto your legs, and then come back over your legs. And then we'll rise all the way up to standing, stretch up, full body stretch, reaching those arms up, maybe even back. And then let's come all the way back down to the ground, maybe hands on floor or the blocks. Extending your spine nice and long, looking at the ground or forward. Release back over your legs and bring your hands and knees back down towards the ground. This time we're going to hover the knees a few inches off of the ground. Hover, rounding your back for 3, 2, and 1. And then press up and back into that standing forward fold. Extending your spine long, reaching it forward, and then releasing back over your legs. And let's come again to that hover. Hands under the shoulders, knees hovering under the hips. And then back into that forward fold. Extending spine long, looking forward, and then releasing over your legs. Hands down, let's hover again over the knees. And then back into the standing forward fold with an extended spine. And then fold over your legs. Let's rise all the way to standing. Stretch out through those arms, bringing them up overhead, a little extension back, and then releasing the arms down. Wonderful. Clasp the hands behind you, maybe placing your hands on your back. Roll your shoulders back and down and open it up. Option is just to keep those hands on your back or on your hips. Lift your chest, maybe attempt to lift up onto the toes. And that's always going to set us off balance. So if that doesn't feel right, then keep it flat footed. All right, wonderful. Okay, folks, let's move on to some more challenging poses. Okay, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bend the knees, chair pose. Sweep those arms back behind you and lift the arms. Maybe lift the heels. Lower your heels, lift your arms, rise back up to standing, little extension up and back. Let's repeat. Coming down into chair, arms come back behind you, lifting your heels, lower the heels, and rise back up to standing. One last time, folks. Coming down, arms sweep back, maybe lifting the heels, lower the heels, and rise all the way up. And then all the way back down to a standing forward fold. Hanging out here for a moment. And then go ahead and walk your hands to those, or forward to the front edge of your mat, not to the edge, but forward to a plank pose. Okay, we're going to dip one knee towards the mat and then lift it back up. Other knee dips and then take it back. Switch and back and switch and back. Two more each side. You could always start from a tabletop instead and then lift the knee. So that would be an option, is to lift the knee. Last one. Okay, let's all meet on the knees. Bring ourselves down to the ground and placing our hands under our head. And those elbows out nice and wide. We'll lift the legs and the upper body for a locust variation. And then come on down. Let everything melt into the floor. Again, lift up, stretch out through the arms and legs, and lower down. One more time. Lift up and lower down. Okay. Bring your hands behind your shoulders, chest lifts, and take it back. Child's pose. I'm bringing those knees out wide and the head resting either on the mat or on the back of your hands. All right, let's find a dolphin pose. Forearms down, clasp your hands, push down into those forearms. Tuck your toes under, and then lift your hips up. Walk those feet in if that feels okay for you. You can keep your knees bent a little bit here, and then lift your hips up. Maybe your legs go a little straight. Maybe they go a lot straight. Maybe you just stay right where you are. Maybe you would prefer to be in a downward dog. If you'd like to join me, we're going to walk it up into a downward dog. So walking the hands up. All right, folks. Step or hop your feet up to your hands. Standing forward fold. And let's lift halfway, extending nice and long. Fold over your legs and then rise all the way up to standing. Stretch up to the ceiling and lower your arms down to your sides. All right. Stepping out wide to face the long edge of your mat, taking those arms out nice and wide. Expand your whole body, maybe even the palms forward to create some space between your fingers, maybe even some space between your toes, and really expand brightly. Opening up your whole body, just opening up those arms. All right, turning one leg out, going into a warrior two. All right, we want to have that shin vertical, stretching out through the arms. Wonderful. Now reversing, bringing the arm up to the ceiling. Big side bend here, but thinking about your core, lifting the side, engaging the backside. Side angle, let's reach it towards the wall and towards the elbow. Onto the knee, bringing the arm next to the ear, reaching out nice and long into that side angle. All right, taking it down to the mat. Look forward. Let's, from here, come into a crescent lunge. One or both arms coming up, crescent lunge. Taking it down to the inside of that front foot. Walk yourself around to the long edge of your mat. Turn your feet out and rise all the way back up to that 5-pointed star, expanding your arms, your legs, your fingers, and your toes, even letting a smile come across your face. Okay, second side, opening it out, other side opens, bending that knee for your warrior two. That's it. We're going to stay nice and low here and broad, and then turn your palm up, side bend here. Really stay lifted through your front to create that side bend from integrity. So there's some strength coming into this stretch, right? All right, now reach it out, forearm to the thigh, and bringing your arm up next to your ear, Get nice and long here, stretching it out, folks, feeling your whole body reaching as long as you can without there being any strain. Finding that effortless ease, effortless effort. All right, take your hands down, lift your back heel, rise into a crescent lunge, reaching one or both arms up. All right, and we'll take it down to the ground. Walk your hands around. Turn your heels out and your toes in this time and release over your legs for a stretch. Okay, let's come all the way up. 5-pointed star, turning your feet out, arms out, expand out, open out, and then let your arms come down. Heel toe your feet into about hip distance. Chair pose, letting those arms come up and out, letting the hips come down, bending the knees. Right, or take the arms back behind, lift the heels for your airplane chair. Lower the heels, come back up, and we'll rise all the way up to standing. Lower your arms down, lift the heels, and bend the knees. Chair again here. Nice, folks. Let's do one more time. Lifting up, reaching up. And last chair with the heel lift, arms going back, triceps extending back, engaging the back. And lower down. Wonderful. Let your arms rest to your sides. We'll take a moment of recovery before we move on. We're going to repeat some of the floor sequence next, and then we'll come back up into the standing sequence and then finish off with our stretching and our final relaxation. All right, so facing the front edge of your mat, big inhale, stretching those arms up. With energy, take it towards the ground, bending those knees slightly, hands down. Step or hop back to a plank position. We're adding side plank here. Shift your weight to one side, option to bring your knee down. Side plank. You can also keep your knee lifted. Hand coming down. Engaging your front side. Shift your weight other side. Plank position. Come on down. Draw yourself forward, upward dog, pressing up away from the ground. And then take it back all the way down. Let's come into the hover. So hands come back a little bit, hover the knees, and then standing forward fold towards the back of the mat. Coming back down to our tabletop, we'll round the spine here and then extend one arm forward, opposite leg back, and bring the elbow and knee in. 2 more. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, bring it in. Last one, out and in. Okay, switch. Arm and leg out, elbow and knee in. For 2 more. And 1 more. Okay, hands and knees down, hover, lifting the knees. And then forward fold, walking your hands back to or towards your feet. Extend your spine long for that flat back position, slight bend in the knees. Come back over your legs. Chair pose, arms coming up. Option to lift the heels for the airplane chair. Lower the heels, lifting arms. Arms go back, lifting the heels. And release. Let's rise all the way up to standing. And let those arms release down to your sides. Okay, folks, facing the long edge of the mat, let's repeat our standing sequence just one more time. All right, so here's our open star position. And then turning out, warrior two. Maybe you find you're warmer, you can go a little bit longer. We're going to hold for an extra 3 breaths this time, stretching out through the arms, looking past your front fingers. One more breath. Turning the palm open, reach it up to the ceiling. Big side bend here. Belly drawing in, the hips drawing under, reaching it up. And then reaching it forward, forearm to the thigh, arm next to your ear. Really get nice and long. Maybe you get a little bit lower here in the leg, in the hips. All right, taking it down, finding your crescent lunge here. Maybe your back knee comes to the ground. Push down through that front foot and really stretch up. Hands coming down. Walk it around. Turn your feet out. Let's rise to our 5-pointed star. Last one here, last folks. Okay, warrior two, turning out to the other direction. Stretching out, reaching out. Maybe you go longer in your stance. Press down through those feet. 2 more breaths here. Maybe you can go a little bit lower, keeping that shin vertical though. Knee over the ankle. All right, reaching it up. Big side bend here. Engaging the front side, reaching the back side long. All right, here we go. Reaching to your side angle, taking it alongside the ear, maybe opening your chest. All right, taking it to the ground for your lunge. Push down, rise up, crescent lunge. And then down to the ground. Walk it around this time, those heels out, toes in for a forward fold right over those legs. You can hold on to your legs anywhere, maybe your ankles or feet. Maybe your hands are on the floor. We all have different body shapes, body types, body proportions. So do what works for you. All right. Come on up, bringing those feet hip distance. We'll come back into our final chair sequence. Inhaling, stretching those arms up. Exhaling, arms go back, and those heels maybe lift. Lower the heels, rise up. We'll do 2 more, reaching it up. Exhaling, bending the knees, lifting those heels. And last one, taking it up and taking it down, lifting heels. Awesome, folks. All right, let's take it all the way up. Let those arms come down. We'll do our final flow to the ground. Big stretch in and up. Fold over your legs. Step back, plank. We'll do one side plank, each side. You choose if the knees are down. Other side. Plank. And come on down. Chest opens, cobra or upward dog. You choose. And take it all the way down. Let's keep it on the ground for a quad stretch here. So maybe you come to a side, grab your ankle or foot. Can keep your side here or come all the way over onto your stomach to stretch that quad out. 3 more breaths. 2 and 1. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty tired. Okay, let's switch sides. That's a good class today, folks. You did a great job. All right. Other side, maybe start on your side. Couple more breaths here. All right, and release. Press up into child's pose. And most people's request is pigeon. So let's assume, unless you don't type anything and something in the chat, we're going to assume that you might like to do pigeon today. Now, with that being said, you may not want to do pigeon. So maybe find a different hip stretch today. We're going to move into pigeon in this. I'm going to demonstrate it. Okay, so go ahead and bring one knee forward. Knee goes out wide, and then your foot can come across. You also have the option of being into this position. You can still get a nice stretch for that hip if you come down. Okay. All right. So here we are. We're going to be here for a minute. So you do you, whatever feels like it's the best sensation for you, the most satisfying, without there being any issues or damage to the tissues, particularly the ligaments at the knee. Sometimes that can come into play. Another 30 seconds or so here. All right, lower that hip down and I'll bring the back leg all the way around for a twist. Bringing your foot to the outside of that knee, option to straighten your bottom leg. Otherwise, set it up tall and rotate around using your back hand for support. Should get a nice stretch in the outside of your hip, maybe a little bit in the back, or even up to your knee. All right, let's take that top leg now. Top leg will become the bottom leg, and then your other leg goes back. Again, maybe 90-90, or rotating over so that your hips are level and letting that knee widen. Your leg goes back and breathe. If you haven't noticed, breath is one of the most important tools that we use in yoga. Of course, we're always breathing. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. Our body breathes naturally, but when we are in a state of anxiousness or fear, then it tends to shorten, quicken, or we even will hold our breath. So, what our yoga does is it teaches us to become more aware of how our breath can become, we can use it to self regulate not only our emotions, we can use it to self regulate our sensations, and we could use it to energize us or we can use it to calm us. All right, let's go ahead now and bring that back leg all the way around for your twist. Letting that hip drop down. I love how the stripes show how there's movement in the hip. The hip can come down and then lift and rotate, turning around and looking over your shoulder. All right, and let's release that. All right, folks, taking your legs straight forward. Maybe there's a bend in the knees, or reach our arms up overhead. Exhale, reach forward. Grab your big toes here, which means your feet legs might have to come in a little closer. As you grab the big toes, take your elbows wide, open your chest even more. So you have this extension up. And then from there, maybe your legs go back a little bit, your butt goes back a little bit, but keep your length in your body and keep your elbows widening. We'll hold this for 3 more breaths. This is kind of an intense called east-west stretch. As you can see, stretching the east and the west. I don't know how it got its name. Okay, and then let's come on up. Wonderful. All right, we're coming now to the ground. We're going to do about 10, maybe 5 to 7 more minutes of stretching, and then we're going to do our final relaxation, guided meditation. Okay, coming on down to the back. Those feet are out as wide as the mat. And let your knees fall against one another. And we'll just take a moment here to settle in, to recover. All right, take one ankle across to the opposite knee. Now lower your knees down to the side of the top ankle. So lower down. Your bottom foot is going to walk out. Let your hips move away from your feet, and then stretch your arms back behind your head. Keep the ankle and knee pressing together. You're going to get a stretch in the front of your hip here. If you don't feel that there, then adjust your knee up higher or lower, or press your hips forward more. All right, and then come back. We'll bring that ankle and knee into the chest briefly, sending that top leg straight up to the ceiling. All right, and lower your feet down, taking your other ankle, the foot flexed. Lower your knees down to that side, letting your hips lift. You might even come up onto the toes or the inside of the foot, and then pressing your hips towards the wall, pulling the ribs up and in. Stretching your arms behind your head. All right, and coming on up. Figure 4, ankle to knee. And maybe straightening up that top leg. All right, taking both feet down to the floor. Let's do a full body stretch here. Your arms reach behind you, grabbing a wrist, Maybe some side to side movement here, grabbing the other wrist, side to side movement, seeing how that kind of explores some sensation in the front of your body. And then we will take a rest here. So letting those arms come to your sides. Now, I like to put a little support under my knees and my head. If that is the case for you, then go ahead and do that. If you would prefer to be on your side or on your back, sometimes that provides more comfort depending on the person. Everybody is built differently. And so once you get yourself comfortable, whatever that looks like, then get yourself even a little bit more comfortable. Maybe you'd like to add a layer of clothing. Maybe you'd like to take a sip of water. Once you get comfortable, then just follow the sound of my voice. So I'd like to invite you to call upon your inner resource. The inner resource is a place or an activity that you really enjoy doing. So using your mind's imagination, recalling an activity or a location that really brings you great joy, makes you feel really happy, gives you a sense of belonging, trusting in your body. And when you feel or when you notice this and you call upon it, notice as many details as you can. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? How are you moving in this space? What are you doing? What are you saying? And now I'd like for you to just drop into your own body and notice how you feel within your body. What sensation is present? Is there any warmth or tingling? Is there a color, a shape? Let's go into how you experience this activity or this place within your own body, within your being. And this is your inner resource. This is a place within you that you can go to, a place that you feel like you belong, a place that you feel at home in, a place that really calls upon your attention of being well and at ease. And once you have this now, we're going to let that go and know that this is a place that you can always return to. I'm going to take you now just into a breathing exercise here. Just I'd like for you to just kind of drop into the attention of your breath. So, first, by noticing maybe the tip of your nose, noticing the air coming in and out. And notice your body breathing. And now letting your next exhale go, noticing the ease in your body. And we'll breathe in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathe out for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Breathe in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And breathe out for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Breathe in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And breathe out for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Breathe in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And breathe out for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last one in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And out for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now just letting yourself breathe naturally in and out. Just letting your whole body breathe. It's feeling effortless ease in which your breath moves. If you notice any strain at all in your breath, just notice then if you can think about just more space in the throat, in the mouth, in the jaw, relaxing these areas to allow your body to receive that breath. And go ahead now and start to return to the room, blinking your eyes open and closed, and just sensing the objects around or seeing the objects around you. And then start to move your body by wiggling your fingers, your toes, encircling your wrists and ankles, and moving in any other way that feels good to you. And then joining me in an upright seated position where we will finish our class together. So I just want to thank you so much for being here today for this level 2 yoga class with Comeback Yoga. I hope that you got something out of today. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. And of course, you can always reach out to us at Comeback Yoga by clicking the link below. Please share this with your friends and family and your comrades. We really do appreciate you and all that you do. I'll see you next time around. Take good care and have a beautiful day. Bye.